On this episode, guys, I'm going to take you through my thoughts, pros, cons, bit of a review of what I think of the Shadow Awn Alley Cab 270-degree awning.
Sam from Built Not Bought.
That's right, guys. All right, so from my last sort of review video, it was on the Alley Cab tent. Now, I promised you guys that I was going to do a video not soon, or not too short, not too long after of the awning. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to be looking at the Alley Cab Shadow Awn. Now, that's a 270-degree freestanding awning. So I'm pretty much going to go through some pros and cons, what I think about it, is it worth it, is it not, blah, blah, blah. Kind of a similar thing what I did to the tent. Now, if you didn't see the tent review, I'll drop that in the link down below so you can go and watch that as well, because it's pretty much an awesome combo. If you go the tent, I would go the awning as well, vice versa. So how long have I had this? Now, I've had this for about, well, I'd say 18 months to 2 years, around about that time. I did get it at the same time as the tent. It was sort of a combo package, and I've used them together since then, and I've never even considered changing it. In a nutshell, as an overall summary, I think it's an awesome product and one of my favorite things on this four-wheel drive. So we'll dive in a bit deeper and have a look at some of the other stuff on it. So basically, looking at the design, okay, it's an aluminium construction. It's very strong. It's not super light. That's one of the things you need to consider. So one of the cons I'd say was probably the weight of the thing. It's about 35 kilos, I think. Now, that does make a small difference when it comes to balance and weight. Like, I don't know if it's because of that, but my passenger side sags a lot more than my driver's side. The awning is on that side, but it's in combination with my drawers are there, my fridge, my kitchen. Like, that is kind of the living side of the canopy, so that's why it's a bit heavier, but that's something to keep in mind. Now, which side do you put your awning? I used to have mine on the driver's side ages ago, and now put it on the passenger side, and the reason for that is if you pull over on the side of the road, you can open it up so it's not going onto the road. So it's really to do with pulling over on the side of the road, set up for a quick lunch break, you can open your awning on the passenger side and it's not gonna be towards the road. So that's why it's like that. One pro that I do love, which also goes in with the design, being aluminium construction, it is quite strong. Now, it can withstand, I think, I'm gonna check this and write it on the screen, but I think it's around 15 to 20 Ks of wind or something like that without the leg, okay? So that's freestanding completely, which is awesome. Now, if you put the leg down, so there's a little leg that's included. If you put that down and then hook up the strap and peg that in, it can handle pretty much all the wind that a normal awning would handle because it's pegged down as well. So that's pretty awesome. Another little advantage with those bars, those poles, I always use them for hanging up like tea towel, towels, hanging clothes. It's sort of like my washing line, you could almost call. So that's a nifty little trick that I discovered, and a lot of guys use them for that as well. Expandability is another pro. So what they've got is a Velcro the whole way around the perimeter of the awning, so you can actually hook on like one of the side walls and basically have a fully enclosed sort of tent area if that's something that you'd be into for more of a kind of permanent longer stay camp setup. So that's cool. I haven't used one of them, but I know it is available. And one of my favorite things, one of the biggest pros to this awning is the setup time. It is super quick. You literally unzip the thing, 3 straps, you pull it around and hook it onto, well, whatever you want to. It's hooked onto the tent at the moment, but there's a little adapter plate that you can add and then tension the thing up and it is done. It literally takes less than 30 seconds and you can do it on your own. How many times do you guys try to set up one of those rollout awnings with one person? There is a trick to it, but it isn't so simple. This, super simple, which is what I love. Packing up is just the same. When you pack it up, there's a couple of benefits. Firstly, there's 2 scenarios you'd maybe open your awning, in the sun and in the rain. Now, if it's in the rain, the awning's gonna get wet. One cool thing, when you pack the thing up, it makes all the fabric kind of fold down into a U sort of shape, and the water can trickle and run off like a little fountain, little waterfall, and it clears all the water off before you roll it away. And it can also be put away with one person. You obviously just roll it up and the 3 straps and zip it up, done. Super easy. So there are definitely a lot of pros to this awning. Now, I'm gonna look at cons, a few little cons. There's not many, but one obviously being the weight. So it is fairly heavy, but that's what you get for a lot of these 270-degree awnings. Another con, which is pretty much goes hand in hand with a lot of these good products, is the price point. They're fairly expensive. I think Alley Cab has now been distributed through Ironman, I believe, so I don't want to quote the price. I know it's sort of up there, but you want to check on the website for the current pricing of these awnings, but they're over the $1,000 mark. They're up there. So a lot of these 270 degrees are around that price point, but you obviously pay for what you get. Awesome awning, pay the money. Another little con, which is something that is It's been a problem across the board with all awnings, and it's going to be really difficult to come across this and overcome this issue, and that is sort of the bowls of water you get when it rains. Now, when it really does pour down, it will trap water in the awning, and then obviously that has two impacts. One, you got water above you, and then someone will push it and it will go everywhere. Two, it helps, well, it doesn't help, but it causes a bit of stretch in the fabric as well. So the more and more water, the more weight it gets, and it causes a bow in there, and then it stretches, and then you're gonna be stuck with catching more and more water every time you use it in the rain. Sun is a similar issue. When it gets hot, it gets a bit more stretchy. The same thing can happen, you can start stretching. There is a little center pole that pops up which helps that water run off. So I'll put that up when it's raining. When it's not raining and it's summer, I try and keep that down to keep some, keep the tension out of it so it doesn't stretch. But obviously, the whole canvas is replaceable. There's a couple of rivets on the end of the poles, and there's obviously a little pull, what's it called, like a pull barb? Oh, there's a word for it. The little fitting that slides in. It's like, it's on the tip of my tongue. I forget. Anyway, you can just slide it out and replace it, so you don't have to replace all your hardware. It's just the canopy itself. It is supplied with two little pegs, which in my opinion are useless. Unless you're in this kind of rocky stuff, not bad, but you really, when do you use your awning? You're at the beach. When you go to the beach, you want to use a sand peg. So I'd invest in a couple of decent sand pegs and a hammer, and that would give you the right strength in the wind, in the sand, because those little ones are just gonna come straight out of there. Okay, another little con with this awning, which is only really an issue if you've got a tent and a missus, believe it or not. So, when the awning's open, what I normally do when I hop in the tent is I go through the back. So I climb up the back step onto the tray and into the tent. Now, obviously when the awning is open, that covers that section, so you have to go through the side. Now, I don't normally carry my ladder with me. I know the tents are supplied with a ladder, so you can use that, but what I normally do is climb up the side of the canopy, but some people can't get up the door because it's a bit of a mission and you have to go through the side. So is it a con, is it not? I don't know. It's a bit of exercise, a bit of rock climbing up the side of the car, which I don't think is a con, but for some people it may be a bit difficult, so keep that in mind. You want to have another access point into your tent if you've got one of these wraparound awnings. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is the mounting. Now, it's got a super solid mount if you got one of these alu cab tents. I'm not sure how they'd mount to roof racks and stuff like that. It'd be similar to the standard awnings, but with the alu cab, it has these two beefy aluminium brackets, which are super strong, and it's really sturdy, and that's what gives it a great fit to the rooftop. Also, when my canopy door opens, it fits perfectly, so it's sitting in enough to sort of block the rain from coming into the door. One little issue is the canopy door opens a little higher than when the awning is out, so I've got a little bit of tape wrapped around which protects the door, and when you lift it up, you just got to be careful it doesn't bang on that, but it pretty much opens high enough you can still walk under it, so that's not really an issue. Alright guys, so there's my overview of the alu cab Shadow Awn 270-degree awning. I think it's an awesome awning. I know this was a quick video, but there's not a whole lot you can say about awnings. When it comes to other brands, look, there's a lot of other brands out there doing these 270 degrees, and in my opinion, they are an awesome investment. There's a few different types and models. Some go both ways, so they get a bit of shade on the front of the car as well, which if you're into that, it gives you more shade, but then there's more setting up. This, I think, is a good balance between a load of shade and an easy setup. So super happy with this product. Make sure you check them out. Check them out at Ironman, I'm pretty sure that's where they sell them. Or any other 270-degree awning on the market. Let me know in the comments below what awning you have, what brand it is, and what your thoughts are on that, and I'll definitely go and check them out. But I'd love to try some different awnings as well. There's some other builds, some other cars I'm working on in the future, and I do want to try some other type of products. So let me know in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next little review video. Thanks for watching. Please click the button to your left if you want to go and check out the latest merchandise we have on our website. If you missed last week's episode, click down below to see it. And most importantly, on the far left, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.